What is going on, guys? It is Chubbs here. Today I am going to be bringing you some Overwatch gameplay, but it's also going to be a new type of video on the channel. It is going to be a top 10 video, but this is my top 10 Overwatch heroes due to playtime. These aren't my favourites, or some of them are, some of them ain't, but I'll do that in a different video if you guys wish. But anyways, let's get right into the list with number 10. In at number 10 we have the Swedish dwarf Torbjorn with 7 hours played. Torbjorn is a very different hero in the fact that you can be lazy with him and still actually put in work, because with Torbjorn he has his own little turret that you can set up. All you have to do is hammer it till it's level 2, and then most of the time, some of the time you can just sit back, relax, and let the turret do the work, hammer it every so often just to repair it. And yeah, Torbjorn's one of the lazy types, and sometimes I like to be lazy when I play Overwatch, and I just like to sit there and have some fun, and that's why I play Torbjorn. Anyway, that's number 10 sorted. Let's move on to our next one on the list, number 9. In at number 9 we have our first healer on the list, and that is Zenyatta, and I've played him for 8 hours. I feel like I've played him a lot more than that, but obviously the stats don't lie. I've only played him for 8 hours. I did have trouble with Zenyatta to start off with, due to the fact that I'm not used to projectile shooting instead of hit scan like with Soldier 76 and McCree, but the more I seem to play with him, the more I get the hang of it, and he's a really good secondary healer. So if you're taking somebody like a Mercy or a Lucio or a Moira, Anna if you're actually good with her, because you know she takes a lot of work, a lot of practice, and yeah, he's a good secondary to any of them. And let's move on to our next one, number 8. In number 8 we have everyone's favourite Korean lady, and that is D.Va. Played her for 9 hours. Again, feels like I played her for more than that, but D.Va's been through a lot over the course of Overwatch's lifespan so far. She's been through buffs and nerfs, and she's been buffed to the point where she was so good she was in every game. She's been nerfed to the point where nobody really used her anymore, and backwards and forwards like that. But I think now at the moment D.Va's really in the balance, and you know, she's a real solid pick for any team that decide to go for a dive composition, you know, with her, Winston as a tank, you know, Tracer flanking, you know, any sort of fast tanky sort of players like that. But that is number 8, and now we're going to move on to the next one on the list, number 7. In at number 7 we have everybody's favourite DJ, and that is Lucio. Played him for 10 hours. With Lucio, again, I just play him whenever I decide that I want to have a little bit of fun. The reason I end up playing Lucio is mostly on maps that have a lot of edges, like Lijiang Tower and Ilios, purely for the fact that whenever you end up getting close to the edge of the map or the edge of a bridge or something like that, Lucio can just come along and just go boop and bye bye. Unless you're somebody like D.Va who can fly, or Widowmaker who can basically grapple themselves back on, you're pretty much screwed when Lucio ends up boofing you off the edge of the map, and that's the main reason I play him. Not for his healing capabilities, not for his speed capabilities, not because of the fact that he can wall run, just simply purely for the fact that you can basically force push people off the map like you can in Star Wars, and that's always a fun thing for me to do. Anyways, let's move on to number 6. In at number 6 we have everybody's favourite Swiss doctor, and that is Mercy. Mercy I've played for 10 hours now. Again, she has been in the works recently. Her ability has been changed. Like, she doesn't use Resurrect as a full ability, so you basically can't turn around and say to your team, do you know what, all of you can just go in and die if you really want, I'll just resurrect the whole team back to full health. Now, they've used that now as an ability where she can only res one person at a time. She can only do it every 30 seconds, unless she pops her new ultimate, which is Valkyrie, which instantly refreshes it, so you can use it once more, but then the time goes back down to 30 seconds. But I think Mercy's still quick and agile enough that she can get out of situations if she needs to by guardian angeling to other players, and she's a real solid healer, and I would recommend her to anyone who's just starting off in Overwatch and is fancying playing healers. I really would recommend Mercy as a starting healer for you. And now let's move on to number 5. In at number 5, this is one of my favourite characters in the game. This is McCree for 11 hours. I would have thought I would have played him a lot more, considering he's one of my favourite characters. I purely like him because he's a cowboy and I like cowboys. It's a bit of a dumb reason, but McCree can put out a lot of damage if you're accurate with him. I would suggest, if you want to get more accurate with your shots, I would highly recommend using McCree in quick play matches, or you can set up Anabots in a custom game. Just make sure they don't do any damage and put it on headshots only, because Ana can't headshot anyway, and literally just play to your heart's content, just headshots, 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 headshots. And for me, it's been a really good warm-up to go into competitive. So if you want to get your accuracy up before you go into competitive games, I really highly recommend using that, or just using McCree in general in quick play before you go in. Anyways, let's move on to number 4 now. In at number 4, we have the German Crusader, that is Reinhardt. Reinhardt I have now played for 13 hours. I played Reinhardt a lot when the game first came out, because tanks were tanks. They were pretty much some of the best heroes you could ever pick. Like I said, with D.Va and Reinhardt. With the shield, you could basically push through chokes if you wanted to, especially with 2000 HP of damage that the shield can take. And who doesn't like swinging a giant rocket hammer around and charging people into a wall, pinning them, doing damage? I mean, if you can get enough hours onto Reinhardt, you can really play him well, and he's a really good asset towards a team that really need to push through a choke point and, get to the point and capture it, basically. And let's move on finally to our top 3. And third on the list is the man from Down Under. No, it's not Junkrat, it's Roadhog, with 15 hours played. Same with Reinhardt and the same with D.Va. I used to play Roadhog a lot when the game first came out. The first few seasons, it was a mostly tank meta. So you would take a D.Va, you'd take a Reinhardt, you'd take a Roadhog, or you'd take a Zarya, a Roadhog, and a Reinhardt, or any sort of combination of the tanks, really. Obviously this was before Orisa was out, so she's not really included in this, but Roadhog was an absolute beast. He was a flanking machine, 600 health, he could heal himself, he can hook people, he used to do a lot of damage, and paired him with Zarya's Grav, you whole hog, and the whole team is practically dead, or whoever's caught in it is basically dead. Right, let's move on to number 2. In at number 2, we have one of the Shimada brothers, but it is not Genji, because I absolutely suck with Genji, and there was proof, but I deleted it because it was that bad. But anyway, yeah, Hanzo, again, I use Hanzo just to chill out, have some fun, and he's another hero where if you want to get your accuracy up, especially sniping accuracy, you either use him or you use Widowmaker. Personally, I prefer Hanzo. Not really a sniper type, but I just like the fact that he's got a bow and arrow, he can climb, and his sonar and scatter arrows are a really good combination together if you can use them correctly. And finally, in the top spot. In the top spot, I've basically been dangling this choice right in front of your face the whole time. It is Soldier 76 with 36 hours played. This is my main go-to when it comes to competitive. If I can play anybody at any one time, it's Soldier 76. When it comes to hit scan, he's probably the best hero in my opinion to do damage, and obviously coming from a Call of Duty background, I also play a lot of Siege on the channel for those of you who watch that sort of thing. But yeah, Soldier 76 is my main go-to. As the stats show, I played him for 36 hours since the game came out. And that's it for the video, guys. I really wish that I played Overwatch more, but it's just purely for the fact that the past few weeks Call of Duty World War II has been out, and I've been playing that most of the time, so really not been playing Overwatch. Probably going to end up playing a lot more of it now, and we'll see what comes around Season 8. And yeah, that's it for the video, guys. Make sure you leave a like down below if you enjoyed, leave a comment of what you thought, and leave any ideas of any more top 10s if you want to see any more videos like this. And also hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Ciao for now.